Hey guys, this is PrimEval. We're back with the second part of our second night in our, let's see, quickly do some stuff before we finish our intro, in our multi-session game as Byzantium. I don't know if we're quite ready to be advancing on Tokyo, so we'll just start skirting along the edge here. Meanwhile, we can heal up. Our capital has just finished a workshop, and up next we are going to want a market. We also have the gold now to upgrade these composites to crossbows, just in case the Mayans do start accelerating their military strategy. And in Antioch, we can go and work on a granary. We have a really nice gold per turn flowing in now because we finally started working Cerro de Potosi. This particular natural wonder is giving us 11 gold just for working that tile, which is pretty nice. I think oftentimes I'll refer to these natural wonders as world wonders, but I'm sure you get what I'm talking about. It would be nice if we had a military unit to clean up some of these barbarians. Maybe I should go and send this crossbowman back. Our army still needs to heal up, so we don't need to move on Tokyo just yet. And Japan still has a second city, Osaka somewhere tucked away back there. Let's go and grab ourselves a granary and go and employ both of the university slots here. That chops our gold per turn down, so we can wait maybe for one more growth cycle. Yes, please continue that farm. Alright, so all of our cities are converting to Islam, which is nice because we can build the pagodas. Let's see what benefits the Mayans are getting out of that. Defender of the Faith, so they'll get the 20% combat bonus. Pagodas, ceremonial burial is quite nice, and religious community, those are all, and sacred waters, those are all perks that I like. Alright, so up next we are going to want a granary or a watermill or a workshop. Let's go and grab a watermill here. And what happens to our growth if we employ both of the university slots now? 10 turns? Alright. Now in terms of micro, I should have moved my crossbowmen into the city first before I did the bombard, because as you can see, the combat strength of my city increased once the crossbowman was in there. So yeah, here I really should, out of politeness, come in and take the Japanese capital now, but my army is still healing up. But I can see why J. Ross would be frustrated. Oh yes, and I did read the comments saying that the forest on this hill actually blocks line of sight from all these tiles down here. So that's something that I didn't recognize when I planted the city, but looking at the tiles now, I can see that that's definitely the case. So thank you for those of you who mentioned that. Alright, so next turn I should be able to move some units in on the Japanese capital here. After the market, we will want for ourselves an aqueduct or a settler. We do want to go and grab the truffles and the citrus. So this spot wasn't actually that safe. It's right beside Osinka. But we should now be ready to go and advance on the Japanese capital. So there you could see that I was issuing an order, but nothing happened, and that's because I was holding down the shift key. And so I was queuing those actions for the end of the turn, and so hopefully those units will be a bit of a surprise to J. Ross, and also this way I can miss out on some range attacks. But at this point, it looks like he'll have used up most of his range attacks. In terms of demographics, I'm leading on gold per turn and soldiers, but we are now a good 4 techs behind the tech leader. we finished that granary. We can go and start work on a university. So Kyoto is now at 27 strength, which is fairly close to the strength of the Mayan capital. So this will give us a good idea as to how much firepower we'll need if we do actually go and move on the Mayans. We might actually need some more siege units. Since we're going to lose this catapult, we might need to go and pull back again and perhaps build some additional siege units. Okay, so we did go and lose that catapult, unfortunately. Up next, we'll probably want to go and kill a number of these units. It looks like Japan is down to just these few composite bowmen. So here, 1, 2, 3, we'll want to go and settle on this hill. It won't be a mountain, but it'll get us the citrus, and I believe we still need citrus, yes. So since this crossbowman needs a little more experience, I can go and give that to the units. It looks like the Swedes have quite an army at this stage. Alright, so we are going to need more units here. Let's go grab a trebuchet. So these 3 crossbowmen might not be enough to take out Tokyo here. I'm just going to shift back so that we can go and upgrade the catapult to a trebuchet. Alright, so in terms of everything that we want to have built, everything looks just fine here. We'll go and employ the last spots at our university. Still 4 techs behind the leader, and we are the military leaders here. So we have a trebuchet online. And we can go and build an academy. So the reason I like to build academies on wheat tiles is so that I know that I'm going to be working this tile anyways because it's giving 4 food. And so here, this tile, I'm getting 4 food, a gold, and a science. So even though I'm the military leader, none of these city-states fear me enough for me to demand tribute. At least I thought I was the military leader. Now I'm behind by just less than 100 points there. Alright, so we just finished our watermill. If we go and employ someone at the university, we'll still grow fairly quickly, even though we are currently unhappy. So why don't we go and work on a coliseum? Ah, yes. It sucks having your capital besieged. Ooh, that's a lot of troops. Alright. Our assault deal has ended. Now we don't have the excess silk to trade. So we switched over from dealing with bens to dealing with E. Yeah, we are gonna have to do something about Carthage, but I think the Mayans should really be more worried about me. Although if we can somehow cooperate, that might be for the best, since I am behind on tech here. Alright, so in Varna we are going to want a Colosseum. Let's go and heal let's take, I guess we can grab Sentry, that might be useful a little later on. Although now Japan's got crossbowmen, so that's going to make things a little more difficult for us. So there I set my scout to automated explore, only because I don't want to slow everyone else down by doing the manual explore. I am playing slowly enough as it is right now. I'm a little tired, and we're probably going to end this session soon. So here, let's go and grab ourselves a Colosseum. We are 5 techs below the leader now, and we are 17 hammers below his production as well. He's got a nice spread of cities. And the Mayans have a few more crossbowmen up. So 5 turns, he's getting a Colosseum up there as well. And he has a whole bunch of other crossbowmen. I wonder if he's getting funded by Carthage. That would be a good idea, actually, if Carthage was fighting a proxy war with me by funding Japan to make this a little harder. Then again, it's not at all unreasonable for Japan to have built all those units himself. Alright, so we have chemistry. We can pop fertilizer to get us into industrial faster, although at the moment, since we are unhappy, and he's about to finish a constabulary, so that'll slow our tech stealing rate. Right. So what I want to do here is fortify just bring us around and maybe next turn attack that crossbow. So these guys make a good point. How am I going to deal with Carthage if I'm busy warring with everyone else? I do think I need to finish off Japan, because they won't be much of a help in terms of fighting Carthage. So we just need to go and deal with Japan, although it's taking quite a while. And then after that, we can go and worry about Carthage. So here, we're going to need another crossbow. Oh yes, I want to make sure all of my university slots are being used. They are, so we should have some great people eventually. Otherwise, things look more or less okay. So we've got a bit of lag here. It's like all those attacks happened at once. So after that cataphract, we'll get a market. And some of our land was stolen up here. So now there's a citadel over there. Alright, if that's the way you want to do it. Alright, so I'm not really sure what to say to you here. I'll take out Japan and then we can worry about cooperation. Perhaps the Mayans have survived long enough that we need to start working with them rather than trying to attack them. So here, I think we should be able to take out the Mayan capital, or the Japanese capital, if we can get off a shot before they kill our cataphract here. So we can go and make ourselves a puppet here. We finished a university. Up next, we might want either, I guess we already have the Colosseum, so let's get to work on a workshop. And let's go employ people at the university until we hit starvation. Okay, so we just lost our spy there. Spying on Carthage. In terms of military might, we are now quite a bit below Carthage. So we should really have some scouts off checking on where Carthage's armies are. Okay, so I can start production on something, but first let's see what attacks we can do. Alright, so choose production. I could start on Notre Dame. I could build a stable or a cataphract. Cannon or musketmen. Let's work on Notre Dame for now. And we can get this worker to go and improve that silver, although we already have silver, so that won't really help us in terms of getting our happiness online. Let's step into rationalism here, although that won't help us since our empire is currently unhappy. And let's try to get some theaters as well. I'm just bringing this crossman over so that I can safely start improving the citrus. Demographics-wise, the Carthaginians lead by almost 10,000 soldier points, and they're ahead of us on everything else, including tech, where they're leading by 7 techs. So that's definitely not good for us. Finished our stoneworks. Let's get to work on that observatory. Likewise here, we want an observatory. We can go and upgrade some of our units. So there's no army at Utique. I'm not sure if he has some land access over this way or along the bottom. So it doesn't look like Japan has any more units, at least not anywhere over here. So with the one cannon, the crossbowmen and the two knights, we should be able to take out a 23 strength city, given that he has no other units. Add to queue. Let's grab ourselves a market. Forbidden Palace. The Carthaginians have entered the industrial era. They are now a good 5 techs ahead of us. Getting a road up would be nice. And the Mayans have now declared war on us. So that's definitely not the most ideal of situations here. Since they have the Great Wall, if we move our Great General down there, it'll be pillaged, but at least the units inside won't be taking damage. Alright, so we can make theaters now. Let's work our way up to the industrial. I don't know if I want to pop the industrial yet, because that'll increase the cost of getting a pagoda. So pagoda here currently costs 200. I don't know if that cost, I think that cost increases when we hit the industrial. So I think what I'll do is I'll go metrology first, or over by economics. Alright, so here I think I can go and move that as a shift move, and then or not. So I guess great generals don't move with the shift key. Unfortunately, we won't be able to get in there and pillage just yet. And we just lost out on building Notre Dame. We could try for the Leaning Tower of Pisa, but what we really need is to get our happiness under control here. So, things aren't looking fantastic for us at the moment. We might want to be retreating our units. Let's take a look at the demographics. We are still 5 techs below the leader, second in terms of army. We are soon to rid ourselves of the Japanese. Everything that we need to queue up. We will also want an observatory here. That's for another 10 science. And I think that's pretty much it. We'll probably want to go and retreat ourselves from here. Yeah. We had a good show with this city, but it's time to make ourselves a hasty retreat. But we'll be back. We'll be back, you Mayans. We'll be back. So we're offering peace here to Cal for dyes. That's fine by me. I lose out on the gold, but we were going to lose out on that city anyways. So we're actually third in military right now. It's possible that the Mayans actually have the superior military force. What we'll need to do is find out if we have a way to attack Carthage. Perhaps we'll have to research embarkation and go across the sea here. I think there's enough space between ourselves and the Mayans that we don't have to worry about war right away, although we'll definitely want some sort of a standing army. So we do have pearls here, so we can go and make a puppet, although that puts us at -7 unhappiness. Our people really wanted dyes, so that worked out really well with the Mayans. We're going to finish 2 of our observatories, so that'll give us a nice boost to science. If we can ever get ourselves out of unhappiness, then that'll also give us a science boost as well. We really do need to find out if we do have a good attack path towards Carthage. Otherwise, we'll have to go with the go to war with the Mayans again. we're finally out of unhappiness, so that's pretty nice. We can get a bunch of growth in our cities. I would rather not that happiness be used up by this little dinky city here. I'd rather grow it in my observatory cities. So we'll need a workshop here, and here we're going to need, I guess we have time to get a garden up. Alright, so we finished metrology there. I don't think we can afford to go up to public schools here. We're going to have to go and hit dynamite. Since we don't have that much in the way of happiness, let's hit military science before fertilizer. So here I'm going to want to move this military back up to position ourselves to hold off any Mayan aggression. And then we'll want to make sure that we have a good flow of science, keep our empire happy, and make sure we have an eye on any military incursions by the Carthaginians. So here, moving that crossbowman into my city, I increased its combat strength by 3, and that'll allow me to do more damage with a range attack. Let's go and start pumping out cannons, although we might also want some barracks. In terms of hooking these cities up with a trade route, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll put a road through here. Alright, so we're going to wrap this up in about 10 minutes, and we'll continue again next week. This time around I didn't have too much to say. Hopefully I'll have a little more energy next week in terms of bringing you a nice commentary. This game, we spent a lot of time and a lot of resources taking down Japan. We still managed to get all of our universities up, and now we have 4 universities up, and we have 2 observatories with a 3rd one on the way. In terms of demographics, we are number 2 on soldiers. We have the most land, but we're lagging behind the Carthaginians on every other metric. So here I can go and sign a research agreement with the Swedes. This will be to our mutual benefit. We need to catch up to the Carthaginians, and since we're on the bottom here, number 3 and number 4, it does make some sense for us to cooperate. So here I'll also want a cannon online. The cannons will be able to upgrade to artillery quite quickly. I'm also going to want some workers back here to improve all of these desert hills, and that'll pump up the production at Nicaea by quite a bit. Alright, so we got the truffles online, and that is boosting our happiness up to 7. Alright, so we just hit the industrial era there, and that got us a spy. We are second in terms of literacy, so unless we can steal from Carthage, and they've built a constabulary, which increases their chance of catching a spy and slows down our tech stealing rate. We could drop a spy into one of Carthage's other cities, such as Hipporegius or Utique. Maybe we will drop a spy into Hipporegius, unless there's a city-state. Where is Zurich? Actually, let's go and drop a spy into Zurich, and that'll help us out a lot in terms of happiness, if we can bribe them into being, or rig the elections, and get them to provide us with the extra happiness there. Alright, so we got another great person. Here, at this stage, we might want to start stockpiling them. Sweden and the Maya have signed a research agreement. Alright, so now that our cannon is one turn from completion, I'm going to shift a barracks out in front of that, and yeah, that's good. Alright, so that was the end of day 2 of our Thursday night multi-session game. Hopefully I'll give you a more vigorous and insightful commentary next week. But this is Primeval signing off.